Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com, and following up on our last video, we had these 7 things that I like most about the Canon 70D, so it stands to reason. To be fair, I'm going to give you the things I don't like, the most significant things I don't like about the Canon 70D, and I've got 3 of them for you. 3 things that I think are kind of some failures or some weak points of the Canon 70D. First and foremost, we've got the 20 megapixel sensor. Everybody else in this segment of camera is at 24. You look at the Nikon D7100, you look at the D5300. I think even the 3300 has a 24 megapixel sensor. Why isn't Canon? Canon doesn't seem to be being competitive on their sensor front, which is strange because Canon used to be one of the best sensor makers. That used to be the big thing that they were ahead of Nikon on. Quality of image and the high ISO abilities of their sensors. And it seems like they've fallen behind and can't seem to catch up on this. This needs to be a 24 megapixel sensor and it needs to be competitive. Nikon's D7100, D5300 24 megapixel sensor is better than the sensor in the 70D. It's got 4 more megapixels. While not significant, it's got 4 more and has better detail and better high ISO abilities. So all around, it's better than the 70D sensor. And Canon can do better, should do better, needs to do better. Number 2, we've got what I just touched on there is the high ISO abilities. This camera should be better at high ISO. It should be better than the Nikon D7100 because it's got lower megapixels, but it's not, and it should be. It should be on par with the 7100 to be competitive. It should be on par with the industry standard to be competitive, and it should maybe even be better because they're using a lower megapixel count. I wouldn't have even minded so much if they stayed with the lower megapixel count if they were significantly better than the competition at a higher megapixel count, but they're not, and that's my second fail for the Canon 70D. Number 3, storage. It's got 1 card slot. The D7100 has 2, and this is a very welcome thing to have on the camera. At this price point, at this camera, you know, competing with the 7100, it should have dual card slots. We should have a dual 2 SD card slots on the 70D, and it doesn't, and it should. So listen up, Canon. Obviously not something you could fix in a firmware update, but when we see the 80D come out, we'd like to see dual card slots. The 70D is a great camera. Here's 3 fails of it, or you could look at it conversely that there's 3 areas that it could really improve for an 80D. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my 3 fails, my 3 pet peeves, my 3 weak points of the 70D? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have a discussion on what you think are the failures or the weak points of the 70D. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon at artoftheimage.com with some new videos, some new articles. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography, videography, and technology right here, folks. Thanks a lot.